Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading on January 17th, 2018. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so let's take a look at our Forex factory first of all. Excuse me. All right, so we have coming up on Wednesday here, we have CPI numbers for the Eurozone. So these will be important because they will have a bearing on how the central bank goes about their monetary policy. So it was I think couple days ago, this last week, they came out, ECB was talking about providing forward guidance in terms of interest rate hikes and so forth and tightening monetary policy. So if the numbers keep on coming out positive, it will push the euro up. So that's important. And then we have capacity utilization rate for the US dollar. So this is how much, how well the manufacturing of the factories are being utilized. So that's a good number. Most important thing tomorrow will be the Bank of Canada monetary policy report. So at this point, we are expecting a 0.25% rate hike here. And as a result of that, if the rate hike does come through, that will push the Canadian dollar up. And then we have Bank of Canada press conference as well. So that will be the most important thing for tomorrow. And then in the evening, we have employment numbers out of Australia. So Australian dollar has been very strong as well. So if the numbers come out positive, this will have a positive response will get a positive response from Australian dollar. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So for our euro here, we are still overall bullish. Yesterday, we were looking for a bullish move to the upside. So it did come down and then has moved up. So now in terms of our targets, let's have a quick peek here. So we'll have to go back. Here we are. So our next target, so bullish, we're still bullish on euro. Next target is 123.97. So about 124.00. That is our target to the upside. And in terms of where we could potentially look for a trade, so yesterday we were looking for this level here. This is the area we had marked. So today as well, we could see a dip all the way down here. So that would be the first case scenario, that it comes all the way down and then pushes up from there, which is also our S1 level. So that's the base case scenario I'm going with. Second is that price may only come up to 122.80 level. So shallow pullback and then a further move to the upside. And our target would be a 1.2400 level to the upside. So we are bullish on euro. And next one, we have pound here. Pound, we were looking for a pullback into this 137.38-ish area, which was our S1 level. So price came in just shy of that. And this is kind of where it ended up. Today now, looking at the candle close here, we did have a pullback. It has pushed up slightly. So looking for further move to the upside. Overall, it is still very bullish. And this is where, So this is where we are. The next target here will be 140. Will be the next target to the upside, which is about 150 pips away. But again, we'll have to, our first target is 138.50. So this is where we are. Right now, if we take a look at our 1 hour chart, 138.50 is over there. So what we could see with this one is I'd be looking for a move down and then a push to the upside. So basically price coming back into this 137.50 area and then pushing off of that level. So overall, we still have a lot of bullishness in this, but we may see a bit of a pullback before we go further in this one. So this is bullish. Pound dollar is bullish for tomorrow as well. Aussie dollar here, we had a move just a very neutral move. And now it's already moved up. So this looks bullish at the moment. This is where we are. And in terms of pullback, we could expect a pullback into 79.38 area. So over here, it's basically testing this previous level again. So Aussie dollar looks bullish. The target would be 80.30 level right up top here. So this is bullish as well. New Zealand dollar, New Zealand actually has dropped. But overall, the move is still to the upside. And in this one, our daily close is bearish. So basically, essentially, we're looking at a pullback then. So see how we had a bullish move and then price pulled back and then continued further. That's kind of what I'm expecting here, looking for price to move down into 72.20 area over here and then potentially moving higher. So New Zealand is one of the few pairs that has actually dropped. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So right now, the bias would be bearish in an overall upwards trend. So we are still looking at this trend to the upside. So just looking for a drop to 72.20 level and then a potential move to the upside. So that's New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, we are kind of going sideways. The bias is to the downside. First target would be 123.50 here. And because we have Bank of Canada rate statement coming tomorrow, if it's positive, if they do raise rates, we could see a drop right into this 122.00. So that will be the target to the downside. But prior to that, however, if they do not raise rates, then we could see it go all the way to 126.00, which is the top of these pins here. So that's sort of what I'm looking at for tomorrow. Not the best pair to trade at the moment because market is kind of divided on whether they will do an interest rate hike or not. So this is something we'll have to watch out for. Euro Swiss here, we have had a nice bearish candle close. So we're looking for price to drop. The target here would be 1.1720 level here. Or 1.1700 level here. So Euro Swiss franc will be bearish. Pound Swiss franc, we are trading in this range that we've been trading in a while here for several weeks since December, beginning of December here. So we have had a bearish candle close, so looking for price to drop. And in this case, the target would be 1.3150. So that will be target to the downside. Dollar Swiss franc, another bearish day, looking for a further move to the downside. And the target here is 95.35 level. So yesterday we were looking for it to drop into this 95.87-ish level, 80-ish level. It has done that. So over the last few days, it's just been bearish, just continued bearishness in this. And dollar has just been taking a hit. And hence we're looking for a further move to the downside here. 95.35 would be the target. Pound CAD here, a pound CAD hasn't really done much. It's just still struggling with 71.75 level here. So in this case, we would have to look to see if the price breaks to the upside because it is pushing into it. We have a bullish pin bar here. And we would have to look for a breakout. So 71.80 level is the one to watch. If it breaks to the upside, then we are looking for a further move up. So in this case, it will be one of these moves that we'll be looking for. But first, we have to look for wait and see if the price will break to the upside. Because if it rejects this level one more time, then we're looking for price to move lower. And in that case, we would be looking for this level, which is, let's see, where are we at here, which is 70.50, 1.7050. So we'll have to see how this reacts. Right now, it's pushing into it, which is looking bullish at the moment. Pound yen. Pound yen, we do have a bearish pin bar here, and which would suggest a move to the downside. However, right now, everything is pushing upward, so we have to be careful. But the daily bias will be to the downside in this one, and we'd be looking for a 151.20 level. well, we would have to look for a pullback. So in this one, we could see a move all the way up like this and back into this pin right here, and then a drop from there. So we'll have to be careful with this one, but the bias based on purely the technicals will be to the downside. Euro yen here. Euro yen and pound yen, they have been all over the place today. So we do have a bearish candle close on this one, but right now it's pushing upward. So based on the daily close, we're looking for a move to the downside. But in this case, we could see retest of this pin at 135.96. So that's what we have to be careful about. But overall, excuse me, based on the technicals, the daily direction is market bias will be to the downside on Euro yen. Aussie yen, same story here. So we may have to go back and check on our Forex factor to see if Japanese yen news came out, which pushed it, which made it weaken and pushed everything else up against it. But based on the daily closes here, this is bearish as well. And that would suggest a move to the downside. But it could go and test all the way up here, which is 88.50 level, before it drops. So I would be careful with all the yen crosses right now. This one, dollar yen as well, looks bearish based on the daily candle close. That's a bearish close. And as such, we'll be looking for a drop. But again, we have to be careful with the yen crosses because they're pushing up. But the bias is to the downside. 110 will be the first level. 109.50 will be the second target to the downside. CAD yen, again, bearish candle close. It is pushing up a little bit as well, just like the other yen crosses. But the bias is to the downside. 88.50 will be the first target. 8800, second target to the downside. All right, so that I think covers it all. Any questions or anything to add here? So CAD, Bank of Canada rate decision will be the biggest one to watch out for tomorrow. All right, so we'll call it a wrap here for today. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the morning, bright and early, for our London session. Have a good night.